Okay. So
Hey guys,
hello.
it's the Real Ones.
Woo!
It is.
Happy Monday. We're so happy to be here.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to start going live on Facebook while we are just saying hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Hello, our YouTube family. We love you.
Ooh, it sounds like you had a wonderful weekend because you had a birthday to celebrate.
We did. It was so cool. I'm so glad for the way that we decided to create that and not to feel like we couldn't do something.
Right.
And it actually turned out better that we were in this situation because we did something we probably wouldn't have normally done. And we got to enjoy a very local area of ours, Laguna Beach, which we love, which is, it's closed right now, but the city's not.
Right.
Lots of takeout. Gelato's open. I ate way too much gelato this week.
Nice.
I've been eating way too much gelato because it's open and it's so fun to just go get gelato, And I want to support this guy because God bless him for being open.
Exactly. That's the thing. We need to, anybody that's open right now, we need to give them business because they're creating their own experience by staying open and how wonderful.
Yeah. And that was actually Mike's point was that, here we are, we're supporting local business. We're supporting the people who are renting the place that we rented. And, we're doing our part. We're not hiding in our house. We're living our lives and not creating any drama from that.
Wonderful.
That's never our intention.
Good. Okay. It looks like we are just about to go live on Facebook.
All right, let's go.
Creating your own reality with the Real Ones. Okay, we're gonna go live.
Here we go. We are streaming. Hey, Facebook.
Aloha, Facebook.
The Real Ones.
Good to see you.
Happy Monday. So happy to be here today. Wow. Yeah, we're here, right?
I think so. Are we there?
You are. Yep.
Awesome.
In case we get some, hopefully get some people hopping on.
Exactly.
We made it here. I feel like a new woman today.
Yeah? Why are you feeling why you feeling refreshed and new and
Yeah. So for a lot of you that know and have listened, we had my second daughter and my granddaughter living with us for the last 2 months. So they have found a place. So that has been wonderful. So my house is mine again. Not that it wasn't before. It was great. Everything's been freaking great. Like the contrast, the everything. So this weekend we decided to go away. Just up the street to Laguna Beach, which was one of the smartest things that we've done in a while.
Kind of a staycation, but
yeah, and we've done that, but we've never done Laguna, and I'm so in love with Laguna. It's very, very overcrowded in the summer and stuff. So because of the situation, it was not, and it was really, really, really a wonderful weekend. I could not have asked for more.
Wow, that is wonderful.
Yeah, so we're navigating and we're doing well. And I drank alcohol. I'm going to confess right away. It was fantastic. One of my things with alcohol was that I had 2 drinks with my husband to celebrate his birthday, and I felt really good about it. I did it very consciously, made the conscious decision. I didn't have a big battle about it, which made me feel very peaceful. And we had a blast. We had so much fun together. The sunset was amazing, and we had this great dinner, and we had laughs, and it was really great. And didn't have a hangover the next day or anything. Didn't feel like I wanted to do it again. Like it was just, that's the the relationship that I've always wanted with alcohol, where I just like do it every once in a while and it's not a big deal. Cause I never like the feeling of deprivation or I want to do something and I can't. I just don't like that feeling. And to be honest, a drink or 2, sometimes that can be fun. So
absolutely.
I felt really good. I still feel really good about it. And my husband was like, I just don't want you to have any regrets. And I was like, okay, can I do this and not regret it? And I was like, fuck yeah, I can.
Good. Well, that's awesome. And I know too, I know sometimes I've actually gotten a few comments that, people think we're judgmental about drinking, but we don't, we certainly are not wanting to make anybody feel bad about their choices. And, just like you don't want to feel bad about your choice over the weekend and you enjoyed it, and that's wonderful. And so people that enjoy alcohol, fabulous. That's great. We just have been talking a little bit because we've been doing the, the 1 year no beer.
Yep.
situation. So,
well, and I think it's important to make people aware, because I think when I was drinking all the time, I wasn't really aware. I was like, oh yeah, I feel fine. And then I didn't understand that when I gave it up for, I think it was like 115 days, that just the level of joy that I would feel, the level of presence. There was a few things that I noticed when I was drinking, and it was time went really fast. Like all of a sudden it was 10 o'clock at night, and I was like, how did that happen? So I noticed that you're not as present. So the time did go a lot faster. I also like woke up in the middle of the night and kind of had that weird kind of alcohol feeling, and I didn't love that. So it was information that I really loved, but I would say to anybody to try it for a little while just to see if it's affecting your life, if it's affecting your vibration, because it is a low vibrational substance. So if you take a break from it for a little while and let your body detox it out completely, which I've got to be honest, I think it takes a good 90 days for that to happen. But try it for 30 and see how you feel.
Yeah. And I think and that's my kind of point too, is most adults in our society have never experienced 30, 60, 90 days of no alcohol in their system, because it's just something that we start doing when we're, 14, 15, 16 years old.
True.
And so, for me, when I the first time I did, it was a 40-day thing. And it was purely because I did a spiritual thing with John of God. And I didn't even know that part of the protocol after you had the healing was it was no alcohol, no sex, and no hot peppers for 40 days. And I'm like, wait, what did I just agree to? I didn't know any of this when I walked in there. But I thought, hey, why not? Like, let's give it a shot. And actually not having hot peppers was the hardest of all those three things for me, which sounds ridiculous, but I guess I like a lot of, and I don't even like spicy food that much, but it was hilarious how much, like, I was like, oh, I'm going to have some chili. Oh no, there's peppers in that, or hot peppers, or whatever. It just was interesting.
Hot peppers.
But then when I did the 40 days with no alcohol, that was the first time it stirred within me this idea of like, wow, I really like feeling not, because I noticed that when I would drink, I would wake up in the middle of the night and I couldn't sleep. I really didn't sleep well when I was drinking alcohol. So it was a huge shift in that. And also I dropped probably 10 pounds without trying. And I just like the clear headedness I feel now, because it's been 3 years and 4 months.
And I don't think that people really realize that it creates a lot of anxiety. I think there's this notion that we do it to not feel anxious, but the truth is, like, if you're waking up in the middle of the night after drinking and you're having all these anxious thoughts and stuff, and you're feeling really stressed, like you need a drink, it's actually creating that anxiety. And that's one thing that I've learned, not just myself, but just being in the 1 year no beer group, that when people do take time off and then they go back to it, they have this middle of the night anxiety that people don't understand. That it's on a vibration of stress and anxiety, and there's an idea that if you do it you won't feel it, and truthfully you're just staving it off a little bit, and it creates more anxiety. And I realized that over Christmas, because I felt a lot of peace over Christmas and I wasn't drinking. So so there's that.
Well, and you've read a lot of books too, right?
A ton. A ton. I just read Pax and Chris Prentice, who he's probably the #1 rehab in Malibu, California, called Passages. His son was addicted to heroin for 10 years. And the protocol that they have for getting people off of drugs and alcohol is pretty cool. I actually read this whole thing last night about methadone, which I don't know why I'm going into this, but it's interesting to me because I know people that are on methadone, which, if you don't know, methadone is a way that hospitals try to get people off of heroin. And I always wondered about this because, I know people who have been on methadone for years, and they basically had this low-level high going all the time. It's harder to get off methadone than it is heroin. Did not know that.
Wow.
Also, methadone users are typically, they don't create as much crime, which is why our government wants people on methadone, because heroin addicts create more drama. And they kind of control people that are on methadone because they have to be near clinics. They have to, take the drugs, and they typically earn more money. They earn twice as much money as people that are on heroin. So this was so interesting to me because I've always had that question of, what is this methadone thing all about, and why is our society condoning these heroin addicts to go on methadone? I found out why.
Wow.
So that was just
yeah. I have no
yeah, I know
connection with that or anything. Yeah. Interesting.
So, yeah, but they do not condone that. Passages gets people off of drugs for good, helps them find out why, and sets them up on a program with hypnotherapy, acupuncture, nutritionists. But I was looking at all this and I was like, I don't know how many drug addicts can afford all these programs.
Yeah.
But they're doing really, really, really good, solid work. So, and that was from the Zen of, I always forget the name.
Yeah, it's Happiness and the Art of Zen.
Yes, that was Chris, right?
Yes, Chris Pentis. Yeah, very cool.
So so I've been reading a lot. Love my books. Love working on my mind, which really is our only defense right now, is to work within the scope of our mind. I put up a post this morning about if you are really just dwelling in fear and worry and concern, you are creating so much of that for yourself. So we have control. I had a really cool conversation with a client, a past client recently today, and we were talking about triggers and making the decision in the face of something which would normally trigger you to disconnect from the trauma. And you and I have done a trauma release meditation, which you can get if you subscribe to our website, therealonez.com with a Z. How to disconnect yourself from trauma and how to disconnect yourself from triggers, because I think we've lived under this notion that we have these layers and layers and layers that we have to work on, but you have a choice in everything. So I've had some new things come to me. There's an Abraham quote out the other day. It said, the only reason why people push your buttons is because you have a big fat button to push. And I thought, wow, that is so telling. Like,
right.
We do not have to be triggered. We do not have to carry our traumas around with us. We don't have 8 million layers to work through. We can make decisions based on moving forward by asking ourselves, is this how I want to feel? Because if this is how I want to feel, this is what I'm going to create more of. And is what I'm assuming what I want to create. And I love that, because that's been something I've been doing a lot lately, because we always think these worst case scenarios, right?
Right. Oh, I know how much endless worry there is out there about things that never happen, especially, right now. There's just a lot of fear. And
that Mark Twain, 95% of what we worry about never happens.
That's right. I just want to give a shout out here. We've got a couple. Hey, Petey is watching from Southwest Florida.
Hey, I miss
you. Judy's a high school friend of mine, which is funny because Petey's a high school friend of yours, right?
It is, yeah.
So
middle school, actually. We went to middle school together.
That is great.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And then Robert, who is here on Maui with me, he's a friend. A clean and sober mind is the best. It's what we were born with. So I like that. That's a really good point. Thanks, Robert, for that. And anybody else that's watching, say hello so we can say hello, give you a shout out. And if you have any questions or anything about what we are talking about, be sure to chime in.
Yeah, we're working in the higher levels of consciousness, I think.
That's right. Well, so you've been reading the Neville Goddard book, which I just ordered the complete set or something. I don't know, which will be here, I think, at the end of the week. But it sounds like, so this is who Abraham listened to before she started, right? Or is that how?
No, actually, Mike said it was the Seth books. I don't know if you've heard of Seth.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Seth.
Yeah, that's where Jerry Hicks would listen to, and I think he was actually friends with Jane Roberts, who channeled this Seth whatever entity.
Oh, okay.
We're in a group actually on Facebook. It's some kind of Seth group, and it's just leading edge information. That's all it is. Like, you don't have to get all wrapped up in the channeling part of it. It's just leading edge information on creating your own reality. And the cool thing that I just found out about Neville is I was listening to a Fred Dodson, and if you've never heard of Fred Dodson, if you're into this stuff, like, he is one of the people who just he rocked my world and helped me to really understand reality creation. He wrote the Parallel Universes of Self. He has a lot of great meditations too. I like his voice. My daughter does not like his voice, so he may not be for you, but he did not get his information from Neville, but his information aligns with Neville. So I thought that was cool. I just found that out today. That information just like came to me that he doesn't, but I love when information aligns. Like, I love.
Didn't someone specifically ask him if he knew Neville or something, and you'd been wondering that. I mean, once again, it's like you created the question without even contacting him. It's like,
yeah. And it was a random, and I never listened to Fred on YouTube. I just like clicked on him today because I saw him, and I was like, hey, I was looking to see if he's spoken to anything that's happening right now, because I'm really interested in what leaders are saying right now.
yeah.
Just hearing like this is a restructuring, and so many good things are happening right now. And I think I just want more information about the goodness that's happening and the opportunities that we're being given, because that's where I live.
Yeah. I love that. I love the idea that basically whatever is happening right now, it's like, it's allowing us to see what's been working, what hasn't been working, what we want to focus on to create more of that is working. So
yeah, and and I think what's happening is we're being called to courage. That was another thing that came to me, and it was a post that it was shared like in 2010 about how courage is not acting in the absence of fear. It's acting, despite of your fears. So I think we have got this huge call to courage right now, and I think that's pretty cool. If we can ask ourselves, like, what are we really fearful about, and if these fears are false evidence appearing real, which is what fear is, and just getting to the base and the foundation of what that is trying to clear for us, because this is definitely a clearing. I'm feeling very clear right now.
Exactly. I'm going to put a side by side. I don't know if that changes on your end or not, but
no, I was already side by side.
Oh,
because you had the gallery view.
Yeah, maybe so. So yeah, a couple more people are saying hello. Yay. Tina. Hey, Tina. Hey, Steph from Kansas. Hey, Jenna and Karen.
Tina, focusing on the love. It's
nice.
Easy to do. We got grandbabies around, let me tell you.
And Thomas. Hi, everybody. That's wonderful.
Yay. So
Yay. Great to have all of you here right now. And, yeah, I think it's an exciting time. I know things are starting to open up a little bit more, and who knows what's going to happen next, but I'm certainly excited to lean into that and
yeah, I've had a couple of manifestations that just make me feel like, oh, it's shifting.
That's
and
right.
Like all this joy, like I just keep feeling this joy is being compounded, like I just keep getting more opportunities to just feel like, oh, this is so good. This is so much better than it ever was before. So we just got to keep ourselves focused in that direction.
That's great. It's so funny. Somebody on Facebook said, she's another high school friend of mine. She said, I have a hair appointment May 2nd, all is well. And as soon as I read that, I was like, yes, all is well. Like,
yeah, I got one May 1st and I'm feeling really
nice. That's exciting. I know. I was wondering about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, how is this going to happen? There are so many people backlogged to get haircuts and get like my teeth cleaning got, pushed off, all these appointments. I'm like, how are we going to all fit in? But it'll all just.
Well, and you're going to realize that you don't have to get your teeth cleaned as much as you thought. Like,
that's right.
I don't have to get my hair done as much as I usually do. It's like all these things that we keep doing just out of habit or because we're told we're supposed to. I only get my teeth cleaned once a year.
I know. And it's so funny. I do it. I'm like religious every 6 months. And I think you're right. I'm going to go to my year. I'll just wait till November.
I went 3 years without when we first moved here, because we have a family member who's a dentist, so I've never had to pay for cleaning. So when we moved here, it was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I waited 3 years and nothing happened because I take really good care of my teeth and I don't eat a lot of sugar. So I was like, you know what? I could do it once a year.
There you go. Well, we got a question.
Every 6 months.
Ooh. Oh, I think that was the dentist, right? Like, hey, let's have him come every 6 months. It probably every 3 months would be dentist would like that even more. But Steph says, will meditation help me focus while I'm working from home? My focus and discipline are severely lacking.
Yes. And also meditation is it's like a muscle. So you're growing your muscle to focus. Visualization will do the same thing. If you do some imagery and you really focus. The other piece of that, actually, I was listening to a Neville Goddard the other day, because there's some Neville on YouTube, and he was saying like to imagine different balls. So he had us like imagining a golf ball, imagining a tennis ball, and imagining a pile of money and the smell of it and all this different like ways to focus. Because once you focus your attention, you're like going to be a really strong creator. But as far as working from home, do increments. So set yourself up for a 15 or 20 minute super high focused session of whatever you need to create. And another tip from Abraham is to like set yourself up with the thing you don't want to do the most and do that first, because that just like gets it out of the way. But focused attention, like 15 minutes of focused attention rather than 5 minutes you're looking at Facebook. Just set your timer for 15 minutes. And then in that 15 minutes, you may end up doing like 2 hours because you've like, connected with that energy and that alignment.
Yeah. And I've done block timing too. It's a little longer than 15 minutes, but I'll do like, if I'm cleaning out a closet or something, I'll set it for an hour and a half and just turn everything off, be very focused. And it's amazing how much I get done in that time, or 60 minutes. I mean, you can do whatever feels right to you, but you're right.
The other thing you can do after you meditate in the morning is to play your day out in your mind. So do that imagery and pre-pave the energy of what you want to accomplish in that day. And what that will do is it will energetically align you to get things done super fast. Because if we're in a state of dreading and we're in a state of dragging ourselves through things, it takes much longer to get things accomplished. So it's like pre-paving that energy, getting the energy ramped up and ready.
Yeah, I love that. And I also put stuff on my calendar. So it's like, cause these days where there are just endless days of like, oh, nothing's happening. It's like, no, put it on the calendar, beach yoga or, even putting down lunch or taking a shower, like just putting it on. I know I talked to my son and he's like, oh my God, Mom, I'm like 3 days, like boxers and a t-shirt. And he's like, I'm not showering. I'm like, dude, like, go do something.
I made a decision. It was probably a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, that I was going to get up every day and exercise and shower and put makeup on and get dressed because I'm acting as if. And so that has really served me.
That's great.
Yeah. Good. I got to go away this weekend too.
Yeah. Petey says, I come from an addict alcoholic family and spent most of my life phobic of any and all substances, but now I thoroughly enjoy a margarita or two with friends every so often and think of it as dessert, fried food, etc. Just something I enjoy every so often, but it is not a crutch. If we don't need it, we're free to enjoy it when we do have it every so often.
I love that. And I feel like that was kind of the shift that I took this weekend. Because I didn't really know. And I haven't been really clear about where I want to go with this. And if I really ask myself, it was just having a really clean and clear relationship with it where I feel and know that I'm in charge, because I think alcohol does have a hook and it does talk to you. There's no doubt in my mind because it's happened to me many times. And my fear of doing it again was that it was going to grab me, and I don't have that fear anymore. So that's pretty great.
Good. Yeah. And for right now, that's how it is, which is fantastic.
Yeah. And I don't want to do it right now. So
that's right. That's great. And then one more thing, Jenna says she loves calendars. I do too.
Calendars. Yeah.
I love actually writing in a calendar more than I like. I mean, my calendar is now on my phone, which is not great, but it's just, it seems easier, but I love a written calendar.
We have a written calendar. I also like saving them because it's like your memory.
Yeah. Whoops.
So what are you working on?
What am I working on?
You're doing some imagery. Can I tell you about my imagery this morning?
Sure. Yeah.
So I have this idea that is formulating into the physical, and that is a ranch in either Montana or Wyoming. So I was there today. I was decorating, I was riding a horse, I had a cowboy hat on, I had my boots. It was really, I could feel it. I could feel the person that I am when I'm there. So that was super cool. And of course, then I have like my little, like you come and, we're doing our show. We're just doing it from the ranch because
I love it.
So we're doing the show and just creating from that. It's been so fun to do that. So you guys get into the visualization work. I love it.
Well, it's funny you say that. Oh, go ahead.
Feeling is the manifestation. So you got to realize that what you're feeling is what's creating. So we don't have to figure out how. We just have to create those mental images and the feelings behind them.
I love it. I woke up with the idea this morning of, like maybe going to New York and renting a place for like a month and just being in New York and all of a sudden I was there and I was experiencing, doing all the stuff I want to do. And that came out of nowhere. I'm like, what? This is fun. Because I used to always, with my ex-husband and I, we used to talk about that. It'd be fun to live there for like just 3 months. Like, I don't want to live in the city full time, but I think it'd be fun to kind of have that lifestyle just for a little bit.
Yeah, just do a little part of our tour there. That could be super fun.
Yeah, exactly. That would be.
I like New York. Not for a long time, but
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Cool. And Judy Lavick says she loves calendars too. I think that's what she's saying. Me too.
Ooh, maybe the Real Ones needs to put out a calendar next year.
Ooh, that would be fun. Yes.
Do our quotes. There we go.
Quotes and fun. Yeah. Fun little things.
Pictures, cool pictures, imagery.
Well, cool. So anything, what else, any other exciting things happening or any,
I think I've just been realizing there was a quote that I read recently about, how some of us are really in the state of thriving and how many of us will experience life in a new way if we choose. And I can't hammer this enough to say that we are all so at choice on what we choose to focus on. And Lisa and I were saying before we started how hard it is to get off of Facebook. There's some kind of dopamine, something or other that's triggered in our brain, because I have a challenge and I've been really working on just not going into the feeds so that I can just clear the field, but I keep getting pulled back. So the word that I heard today was consumption. Like, what are we consuming? What are we allowing into our fields? What are we allowing? Because every time I go into that feed, something goes in here and creates a neural loop for me that I don't want to be a part of right now. Some of it's good. Some of it gets me into like, oh yeah, things are shifting, things are working, things are getting done. But none of it really serves me in the face of being completely focused on my joy and what I want to create. So really be careful right now with what you're consuming and where you're allowing your assumptions and your visions to go, because we get to create this. So I am in the state of thriving, and I plan on staying here and up-leveling more and more and more. And that's what we're interested in our community for all of you to do as well.
Absolutely. I love that. And just another note here, Judy, also New York City for short stints. And Thomas says, calendars are great. I also get up, work or no work each day very early, make the bed, shower, and be ready for anything that comes along. If I have nothing planned out yet, keeps me sharper than puttering all day. I love that, because I know and some days it's fun just to wake up and like be in your pajamas all day, right? We want to give a shout out to that too, but but I get up, I have kind of a routine.
Too many days is not good.
Yeah, too many days, and it kind of starts becoming very muddled, and but yeah, I have a routine because I have a dog, so he keeps me definitely on 6 a.m. He's ready to be fed, so I'm up. And then I make the bed. But I've been meditating for an hour every morning, which has been great. As soon as I get up, I feed him, and then I meditate for an hour, and then I get up and start my tea. So what made
you go back to your hour? Because I know you were on that before.
I know I was on it before, and you know what? I have two different musical things I listen to, and it's the binaural stuff that goes back and forth. So, and one is that's 30 minutes and 30 minutes. It's like rain and gongs, and then the last 30 minutes is just the rain. So I can tell, like, as it shifts, like, okay, I've done 30 minutes. Do I want to go deeper or longer? And then I just decide to go or not. And sometimes I'm just out. I'm just like, I'm in it so deep that it just, next thing I know, it's over. So it's been,
I haven't done that in a while. I like the longer meditation.
I really like it, and it's really helped, especially in this time. I mean, what else am I doing? Like, okay, waiting an extra half hour for my cup of tea before I go down and do my yoga, and so there's not a whole lot.
There's a beautiful freedom in that, I will say.
Yeah.
I just don't feel a lot of pressure right now, and that feels good.
Yeah, exactly.
That we put ourselves under, so.
My daughter is calling right now. Let me just tell her I will call you back.
Oh, daughter. There you go.
I know. I haven't talked to her in days. I'm like, really? You're calling right now?
Call now?
Awesome. Anyway, but cool.
All right. So anything else?
I think that's it.
You want to share? Get some Neville books. Look up Fred Dodson.
Oh yeah, I did want to mention, because I mentioned we were going to do the book club with
oh yeah.
So I want to definitely still do that, and again, we were talking about story time, so maybe I'll just pop on and read a chapter or something, and
Yeah, and I could do it too. I could pick up where you left off.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. So why don't we'll just start doing that, and then people can just like write underneath, write your, and if we want to do ultimately, maybe at the end, we could do a Zoom call and have people join us to discuss it.
Yeah. And also, if you guys have questions, please email us at Goldyn and Lisa, Goldyn with a Y and Lisa at Gmail, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
Right? If you have questions, or if you've got some things going on in your life that you need to shift, let us help you.
Like, we're here.
Like, you don't need to listen to our stuff what's going on in our life. You want to know what's going on in your life.
Exactly.
I love doing stuff like that. And I field calls often from people just to help them shift, because it brings me joy to do that and helps me to get more convicted in my beliefs. So yeah, we'd love questions, or even on the page, post some stuff on the page. I think people are, we can totally do it anonymously too, if people don't want to share their personal.
Yeah. But yeah, if you've got anything going on that you're open to having the community help out with too, be sure to just post it there. And
we're in it to win it.
That's right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So hop over to YouTube real quick and
That's right.
All right.
We're going to end the Facebook. Bye guys. We love you.
Peace. See us on YouTube.
Okay. We are still streaming on YouTube, and we're going to pull some cards. I know we like to do that.
Cards about today?
I think about creating our own reality, right?
Yeah, that's been a pretty hot topic for me.
Yeah. And again, yeah, especially after you had such a great weekend of really creating out of contrast, that's the thing too. Like here we're feeling like all this contrast in the world right now. And it's like, wow, if we're feeling that much contrast, just think what's on the other side of that. It just gets better and better and better.
You know what? That was another thing that came up to me about trauma recently. You and I were having a conversation about somebody you were talking to, and what came to me was, regarding our traumas, if you can do all this work, you can do all this talk therapy, you can do all this energy releasing and stuff, but until you find the gifts and the trauma and let go of the angst and the negative emotion and the regrets and the resentment, you will be attached to those traumas. So that's like one of those keys to shifting it, is finding all the gifts in it.
I love it.
And recognizing that contrast really brings you to your convictions and helps you to get stronger in who you are is a huge part of that.
Yeah, that's so good.
All right. Ready?
All right. So the first card.
And this is about reality creation. Manifest and create.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is the blockage card.
Yeah. Well, because people think they can't, it's like right now.
The power has been taken away.
Yeah. Especially right now with everything like, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that. And guess what? We're still creating. I mean, you're either creating with or without that contrast. And I feel like a lot of people that I'm talking to they're trying to they're in the negative and creating from there. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Like I was telling Goldyn before we went on about a friend of mine that was here, and I was telling her I was doing beach yoga, and she's like, oh, no, you got to stop doing beach yoga. You're going to ruin it for everybody. I'm like, I'm not ruining anything for anybody. It's not like I'm running into the hospital, sneezing and coughing on people. I'm down at the beach.
Yeah.
Social distancing. I'm not near anybody. And so what am I?
But we're still living our lives.
Yeah. But I'm not going to have some government tell me I can't do my physical exercise that I've been doing every single day for 3 years, that I moved to Maui to do.
Yeah. Or go to a beach. I mean,
right.
Sunshine, beach. That's my health right there. Yeah.
And so meanwhile, these people are creating, this is again, we're talking about the block, the manifesting and creating is the block, because people think that right now, because of what we're being told, they can't create their
anything,
their excitement, their beauty, their the things that they want. It's like, no, we can't do that. It's like, no, you can.
Yeah, you can. And my question is, and this was our question when it came to the weekend, was how can we do something?
Yeah.
What can we do right now that's going to create that joy and love and passion for life? And that's exactly what we found and created.
Exactly. So the action card.
Ooh, trust.
Trust your power, baby.
Your power.
We have the power.
Like never before.
Like way never before. Like if this isn't showing you how much power you have.
Trust it, people.
It is.
Trust that inner guidance. Like that's the hugest thing. Like we're looking at other people's projections and we're believing what we're being told. I'm not, but a lot of us are believing what we're being told. And the truth is what is your inner guidance telling you about what's a good idea?
Yeah.
To go and to do, and like trust that, because that's super important. And I think that's part of what's waking up in people.
Yeah.
Is that we can't believe anything, so we have to just trust ourselves.
Yeah, and this is coming up for some reason for me to say it is like, if you are health immune compromised, if you're in the area that could potentially stay home, like, listen to your internal instincts and like follow that. But if you are a healthy person, again, if you're being guided to stay home, well, fine, but don't tell other people that don't feel the same way that they have to do that.
That's wrong. I know.
Yeah.
All that going on.
All right. So, outcome. I love it. Celebrate your mastery.
That's right. That's right. As we get more in tune with our inner guidance, we're able to celebrate more because we're in a higher vibrational realm. And then we create mastery because we've got a hold of this.
That's right. That's amazing. I love it. I love to celebrate because that's what we got to do right now, is not be in that contrast of fear and, false evidence appearing real.
And there's a lot of joy to be felt now. A lot of joy. A lot of joy.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Well, that's it for today. Peace out. And
we'll be back Thursday.
That's right. Thursday. We've got an exciting interview on Thursday. So we will be there.
Super pumped.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Aloha. Much love.
Bye.